On August 13th, segments of the indigenous movement in Ecuador, together with opposition-aligned trade unions and politicians, staged protests against the government of Rafael Correa. After the sun went down, the demonstrations turned violent. Protesters attacked police with sticks, rocks, poles, and firebombs as they tried to break past a police barricade to reach Quito's Plaza Grande, where a rally of government supporters was being held in front of the presidential palace.
En una democracia, todos tienen derecho a manifestarse, a protestar si se están conculcando sus derechos. Pero ¿qué derechos se están conculcando aquí? Por el contrario, están atentando contra el derecho de las grandes mayorías, al cerrar los carreteros, al amenazar con aislarnos. ¿Por qué? Porque no seguimos lo que ellos dicen, lo que ellos quieren, sus caprichos.
Story after story, media outlets distorted the news. The number of protesters in the march, or downplayed the violence that left over 80 police officers injured. Some news agencies claimed the strike paralyzed public transportation, or insinuated that it was a massive uprising by the country's people, though an overwhelming majority of Ecuadorians rejected the protests. Sure enough, in the days after the opposition protest, there were denunciations of the so-called repression and accusations that President Correa's government is creeping toward dictatorship. If this script sounds familiar, that's because you've heard it before. Any government that dares to challenge the neoliberal order is seen as a threat, and powerful people conspire against it. In past decades, they would have responded with a military coup. These days, powerful individuals and entities know that the people will not tolerate a coup attempt. Instead, these groups turn to smear campaigns in an effort to paint a false picture. Before making assumptions, we should be vigilant to be sure that the news we are receiving is an adequate portrayal of the actual realities on the ground.